Hello, my name is Tim Gerhardt and I'm from LabStrong. Today we're going to connect the LabStrong 40-liter reservoir to the Fi-Streem III 8-liter per hour still. First thing you want to do is make sure that the power is disconnected or circuit breaker shut off, and then disconnect or shut off your incoming water source. We're going to go ahead, now we have that disconnected, we're going to go ahead and remove the door. Set that aside, we're going to keep that. First thing we want to do is we want to install our plumbing for our distillate. We have the left-hand condenser and boiler, right-hand condenser and boiler. We're going to need to get the water from this one to this one, then out to our tank. We have this assembly that comes with the still. Our elbow goes up into this seal to our red cap. Turn the red cap down till it's tight. Push the T up into this seal. Turn the red cap down till it's tight. No need for any tools. That'll be tight enough. Then we're going to connect up our distillate tubing. Distillate tubing does come with, this is pre-cut, but the distillate tubing does come with the still. So we're going to go ahead and feed that through the side. So the right-hand side of the still, we're going to feed that out through to the tank. Connect it up to our T. We have that connected. Now we're going to go ahead and top lifts off of the tank. Set that aside because we're going to need that again as well. Float switch assembly we have. The tubing we're just going to go ahead and route through this port in the side of the tank, and it goes to a fitting at the top. And you notice there's no loops or sags in here. It's going straight across over to the tank. Level is okay. A little bit of downhill is better, but level is okay. It'll feed from the left to the right and then over to this tank itself. Next thing we're going to connect is the float switch. And this is the adapter that comes with the tank. The float switch, which is this piece right here, actually comes with the still. First thing you want to do is remove the clip on the bottom. Move the float switch, or the float, make sure the float, there's lettering at the top, which is the top. No lettering at the bottom, which is the bottom. We have a bulkhead nut, remove that. In this case with this unit, you can discard the nut because you're not going to use that bulkhead nut. This slides down through the adapter, and you just simply tighten that up to the top, and there is an O-ring in here that helps to seal it. We're just going to tighten that up, and then that just slides down inside the tank, and then there's these 4 screws that hold it in place. So once you have that centered, there's a locator hole in there, and this is centered in there. You just simply tighten the screws down. Now that we have our float switch connected in the tank, we're going to route this through the side of the tank itself, through the back. There's a grommet back here. Route that through that grommet. You can leave your excess up inside the tank. And then there's a indentation in here, or the piece that will only allow this to go, this 4-pin connector to go in one spot on this connector in the still. Find that location, push it in place, quarter turn lock on the nut here, and then that stays in place. Instead, your excess can stay up inside the tank. And your float switch is connected. Then you have your float that has to be installed onto the shaft of the float switch itself. So you just need to take your float and your clip, make sure that the lettering is in the up position. That goes up inside of here. Once you have that in place, you take your clip, put that at the bottom so it holds the float in place. Now that's in place. You can actually do a test with this unit just to make sure the float works, is when the system is running and operational. When it's down, the system is calling for water, and you pull the float switch up to the top where that top ridge is, and it'll stop. It should stop the still. It should shut it off. That's how you can test that. So now we have our float connected. We have our distillate tube connected. We can put our cover back on here. The overflow on this actually comes out through the back, and you connect that up to an atmospheric drain. The overflow is actually connected in the tank itself already. It just comes out through the back. You just have to put an extension on it, which the tubing does come with the tank. There's also a filter in here, which we'll show you, that goes on here. It's an air filter. We'll put that on here. And then you just simply tighten your lid back down. You can put your cover back on. But before you start your still, you always want to make sure that this door is in place. And that's how you connect up the 40-liter LabStrong tank to the Fi-Streem III distillation system. Thanks for watching. At LabStrong, we are committed to making your lab life easier. For additional assistance, please contact the experts at LabStrong.